So I just got this shipment from PRx yesterday, and in this video, we're gonna open everything up, get it installed, and I'm gonna give you my initial impressions. What's inside the boxes? Well, we've got the PRx Profile system, the squat rack and the weight bench, plus a whole bunch of other accessories for a fantastic foundation for a home gym. Hey, my name's Mike Behrens, and for over 20 years, I have been an independent professional wrestler, and for the last 10 years, I have been building my own home gym. But I'm not actually standing in my home gym right now. I'm at my parents' getting ready to install their home gym. Quick backstory on why I'm doing this. In January of 2025, my childhood home and my parents' house of 47 years burnt completely to the ground because of a freak chimney fire. And when that burned, so did my dad's home gym. And like any good son, I wanted to try and help. And given the fact that I've been in the fitness industry for as long as I have, I reached out to PRx and said, hey, would you guys be willing to help out my parents so that my dad can get back to working out and feeling strong? Fast forward a couple months later, and we've got a whole home gym ready to install, and I am forever grateful to PRx for that. So I'd never actually tried any of the PRx equipment before, but I'd always been intrigued by the folding up rack system because you just don't see that very often. And then I found out that there's a reason, because PRx owns the patent, so nobody else can make that type of rack. So now I get to find out firsthand what it's like. So let's open it up and get it installed. All right, so first we got to open up the uprights. I asked my dad what color he wanted, and he said that he wanted the gray. Very basic, looks pretty nice. All right, these look great. Got the 89-inch uprights here. They have two different sizes. We went to the 89 because our ceiling height is going to be just a little bit lower. This box is the pull-up bar. Oh, nice. Very cool. Different grips on the pull-up bar. My dad worked construction for 40 years, and so he doesn't have, his wrist mobility is not as good as it could be. So I wanted him to have the different grip options. So that's why we went with the multi-grip bar. And then this says that it is the components for the rack. These are the brackets to fasten to the wall. All the hardware in here. This box is the 3x3 J-cups. Oh, dang, that's heavy duty. The finish on these is real nice, real smooth. And the instructions, definitely gonna need that. Oh, and look at this, that's cool. I didn't know this was coming. Almost forgot the arms to attach it so you can go up and down. Oh gosh, these are heavy. All right, so now we gotta read the instructions. I am not too proud to read instructions to make sure I'm doing this correct. First thing it says is this installation requires 2 people. Gonna try to do it myself. Standard installation for an 89-inch rack is designed for ceilings 8'11", 107 inches or taller. Don't need to worry about the 95-inch rack. If your ceilings are shorter than these dimensions, please refer to the table on page 3 and use the bracket height measurements that correspond to your ceiling height. Getting started, assemble all the tools listed on page 1. Check the stud spacing of the wall, 16 on center. To mount your rack with non-standard stud spacing, don't need to worry about that. Check your wall width. All profile racks mount to 48-inch placed studs. Identify the stud you plan to mount. I'm gonna put it right here on this one and this one over here. So got plenty of space. Check the ceiling height. Let's go ahead and measure that just to make sure I've got the right height that we're working from. So measurement height, we've got 103 inches of clearance there. For the ceiling height, check your ceiling height. Standard installation is designed for ceilings 8'11", 107 inches or taller for 89-inch racks. If your ceiling is shorter than 107, please go to page 3 for modifications for the install. It shows that you have a 103-inch height, so you've got a 17-inch lower bracket top hole, a 85-inch upper bracket top hole, and then the rack depth is 21.25. So we're gonna go ahead and get that stuff installed. We're gonna measure that out and make sure that we get everything figured out. So instructions for installing the wall brackets. Determine if the floor slopes. I think it might slope just a tiny bit, but we're not gonna worry about it. It's pretty flat. Locate 2 studs spaced 48 inches apart on the wall using a stud finder. This is on OSB, so I can see exactly where the screws are, so I don't need to use a stud finder to find the studs. I can see exactly where they're at. Then mark the first hole 21 inches from the floor. But because we're doing a modified install, our first hole is going to be 17 inches from the floor. Then step 4 is measure down 4 inches from each mark on step 3 to mark the 3rd and 4th holes. Then it says use a cordless drill and a 7/32 inch drill bit to drill the 4 marked holes at least 2.5 inches deep. Step 6 is align the wall bracket over the drilled holes so the ear of the wall bracket is facing down and out. Using an impact driver or a 1/2 inch socket, fasten the first upper wall bracket to the wall with the 2 lag screws and washers provided. So we're gonna mark 17 inches. The other stud, mark 17 inches, and then down 4 inches from that. So 17 minus 4 would be 13. And now we drill our holes. Okay. I didn't snug them all the way tight because I want to have some flexibility in it. Now it says, step 7, center the lag screws in the slots of the wall bracket and use the level to check the wall bracket is as straight as you tighten the lag screws. Do not over tighten the lag screws. On the same stud, repeat step 6 with the first lower wall bracket, but do not fully tighten the leg. Step 9, vertically align the upper and lower wall brackets using a plumb bob. I don't have a plumb bob. Use the level to double check the wall bracket as straight as you tighten the lag screws. Do not over tighten the lag screws. With the modified install, the upper bracket for 103 needs to go at 85 inches. So I need to measure that out. Should have done that while I was doing the other one. 5 inches. And then 4 inches down from 85 is 81. Oh, shoot. So fun fact, when you're doing this, you gotta put the washer on too. Son of a gun! At least I caught it before I got them all done. Okay, I got those locked down. Now that I fixed my mistake. Step 10, place the 4-foot level against the bottom edge of the first upper wall bracket, span it to the next marked stud 48 inches away, and mark the wall once leveled. Step 11, place the second upper wall bracket so the bottom aligns to the level mark and mark the location. Oh, I got ahead of myself. Step 14, use the tape measure to set the distance from the inside edge of the left wall bracket to the inside edge of the right wall bracket to 45.5 inches. Level the wall bracket and fully tighten the lag screws. Do not over tighten. The space in between here needs to be 45.5. I'm at 46. I can't move them over any further without re-drilling the holes, so I'm just gonna leave it and see if it causes a problem. Ow, son of a... Okay, so now that I got the wall brackets mounted, we're gonna go on to the next part, which is to assemble the linkage arms. Step 1, using a 7/16 wrench and a 1/2 inch wrench, attach the large barrel end of one gas shock to the outer face. Here's the extender arm, the gas shock. It says to put it on the outside. So we're gonna do it this way so I can look just at the picture, see how it goes. Put this end through there, tighten it up. There we go. Got it. Okay, we'll do the same thing on all 4. Installing the linkage arms. Place the small side of the plastic spacer into the linkage arm. See figure 6. Place the linkage arm with the plastic spacer facing the inside of the wall bracket ear. Attach the linkage arm to the wall bracket using an 1 3/4 head hex bolt and 5/8 washer on both sides. So to do this, you've got the bolt, you do the plastic piece and the arm that's facing in. Bolt up here, plastic piece in between, and then you put a washer on the back side and lock it down with the lock nut. Just like that. And then you do that on all 4. Okay, now that I got all of the linkage arms installed, we can move on to the next piece. The next piece is attach the pull-up bar to the uprights. Lay the uprights on the ground, numbers facing upwards. Leave space between them for the pull-up multi-grip bar. Lay the multi-grip bar on the ground with the bar facing up between the uprights. Position the pull-up bar so that the holes align with the top hole of both uprights. Using the 4.5 inch hex bolts, washers, And lock nuts, fully tighten the bolts through. Okay, so I just realized that my audio died out at some point in there. So what I realized was that the bolts have two different lengths. There's a 5-inch bolt for the top of the pull-up bar and a 4.5-inch bolt for the bottom. So you need to make sure that you read the directions very carefully so that you're not having to do extra work like I just had to do. So now that I got that whole situation figured out, I am ready to team lift the rack into place. And so make sure you grab a plastic spacer. This is going to be between the linkage arm and the rack. Plastic piece goes in here, bolt goes through. You put a washer and the lock nut on the other side. Just hand tighten those for now. The next step is bolt the lower linkage arm on the 9th hole from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Slide it through, washer on this side. Okay, now just tighten everything down a little bit. It says don't over tighten it. So for the top one, I definitely recommend a step stool. So now that we got the linkage arms connected, the rack's actually looking really, really good. It's up. Now we just got to attach the gas shocks. It says with another person, lift the rack to fold it into the upright position. Step 2, use the included bent hinge pin to lock the rack in the up position. Insert the stud of the gas shocks through the hole in the wall bracket as shown below. Use a 1/2-inch open-ended wrench to keep the stud from spinning. Use the 1/2-inch wrench to install the flange nut and tighten. Repeat for all shocks. Okay, so this is the last step. Again, they said team lift, so hopefully I can lift this myself. And once I get it up there, they give you a pin to put in to hold it in place, so that will be good, and it shows you in the figure how to hold it up. Well, that was kind of heavy by itself. Cool. So now we just got to attach the bottom of the shock. Got that one. The next one is right. All right, so now I think I've got it officially installed. I'm gonna test it out and see how much easier the gas shocks are to raise and lower it. I'm kind of excited about this. It's gonna be pretty cool. Pull the pin out. Stays up there on its own. Pretty good. So now if I just grab it and pull it down. Boom. That was pretty cool. It is nice and easy going up. Boom. That is cool. That is really cool. This is my dad's garage, so he can pull a vehicle in, not have to worry about it. You go from stored away to down in 1, 2, 3. You can probably get it faster if you wanted to. Up and away, 1, 2, 3, 3 seconds. Man, that's pretty freaking cool. Pretty cool. Now, stability-wise, a little bit left and right because the beams are the way they are. So that's to be expected. I think that's totally normal, totally to be expected. Question will be, how strong is it now? I weigh 270, I'm 6'5", so height-wise, it's not super tall for me because we had to be careful with the height of the gym, but for my dad, it's gonna be perfect. He's 5'10", so it'll be great for him. But as far as stability goes, I can hang from it, no problem. Do a pull-up on it, no problem. Feels pretty solid. Feels real solid that way. Shaky side to side just a little bit, but that's to be expected. But you're not gonna be shaking it side to side very often. Most of your force is gonna be going this way against it. Very cool. All right, so let's put the J hooks on it and see how those go. Slide right on. Dang, how does it look with it up? Man, that's cool. This is awesome. And if you need a fold-away gym, fold-away space, this rack is amazing. So easy. Most other racks that are fold-away, you gotta pull the pin and then take the pull-up bar down and all that kind of stuff. This is cool. Just pull it right down. It's getting easier the more I do it. Oh man, that's cool. All right, so for my initial impression of the PRx Profile Pro Rack, it is awesome. If you need to save space in your gym, if you're in a small space, this is huge. If you're in a garage where you need to park your car in the garage and you still want to be able to get out of the car, this is without question a great purchase. It's definitely solid. I can't wait to start working out on this and test it out and see how that works. The included J hooks are huge. The pull-up bar attachment, definitely the multi-grip pull-up bar attachment is good, but you wouldn't have to do it. They have just a straight bar attachment that you can use as well. If you need the extra space and you don't want that sticking off the wall, you can definitely go with the straight bar attachment. So all told, I think this is a great foundation for building your home gym. It's compatible with all kinds of third-party attachments. PRx makes a ton of attachments, but it's compatible with other typical rack attachments that you can use. So this is a great foundation for space saving and all that kind of stuff. All right, so the rack is installed. It's smooth. I like it. It's great for the foundation, but the next piece that we want to install is the weight bench. So we're going to get started installing that weight bench right now. All right, let's open up this bench. Oh man, that's nice. Okay, instructions, bolts. Let's take this sucker out of there. All right, instructions. Unfolding the bench shows a figure on how to unfold the bench. Let's lay it face down. Okay, so read the directions. Unfolding the bench. Remove the bench from the box and lay it flat, pad down. Unfold the bench by lifting on the wall bracket and the middle leg at the same time until the bench is fully unfolded. Okay, now that it's unfolded, flip it over. Okay, tool list. Step 1, measure and mark the studs. Locate the studs using a wall stud finder. If the studs are 16 on center, proceed to the instructions. From the floor, measure and mark the wall at 9 1/4 inches and 13 3/4 on each of the 2 identified studs. Use a cordless drill and a 7/32 drill bit. Drill pilot holes a minimum of 2.5 inches deep at 4 marked locations. Same lag bolts as the rack. My tape measure. Attaching the bench to the wall. Place the bench so that the wall mount bracket is against the wall. Make sure that the bench remains fully extended. Align the wall mount bracket slots with the pre-drilled holes. Lag screws are installed, screwed in. It was actually pretty easy to do. Just 4 lag bolts in there. Next thing is attach the shocks and level the bench. Fold the bench into its upright stored position with someone holding the bench against the wall. Remove the flange nuts and insert the gas shock studs into the ears on the wall mount bracket. Tighten the flange nuts using a 13mm socket while holding a mounting stud with a 12mm wrench. Once both shocks are fully tightened to wall brackets, fully tighten the lag screws to secure the wall bracket to the wall. Note, if the bench doesn't stay up against the wall when placed in the upright position, check to make sure all hardware holding the shocks in place is fastened securely and not loose. Fold the bench into its upright position. Attach the screws down here. Okay, so this part isn't exactly user-friendly. So with these gas shocks, if they feel like they don't fit into the hole, which they certainly didn't act like it was gonna, it's just loose. So you need to screw it back in so that it gets a little tighter, and then you can get it to fit right in. No problem. This is a little difficult. Trying to angle this with the bench in the way is a bit of a challenge. Okay, so the trick is to hold the bottom part out so that you can get in there, otherwise you're not gonna get in there. Okay, so I just got the bench installed. I'm gonna pull it down for the first time and see how it goes now that the gas shocks are connected. Hit my foot, otherwise it would've been a lot smoother. Dang, that's cool. Very cool. Pick it up by the back. Slides right up. Loud, but stays right up there. You grab by the front, pull it down. Ooh, ouch, that slipped. Sit on it. Oh, yeah, nice. That's very nice. I like that a lot. Pick it up. One hand slides right up, super easy. Bring it down. One hand, super easy. Can handle me kicking it. Some footprints all over it. One hand goes right up. Put the rack up. That wall profile, sweet. You're talking not even a hand's depth off the wall. Very cool. All dirty now. Whoops. So my initial impression is definitely a great addition. If you have the PRx Profile rack, this bench is a perfect addition for it, for saving as much space as you possibly can. Okay, so we're making some progress on the install. I've got the folding bench installed and the rack installed. Next thing is I want to get out some of the accessories like the spotter arms. So my dad's going to be lifting in here by himself, and so I don't want him to crush himself if he puts on too much weight, and so having some spotter arms are going to be a great addition to this setup. So let's take a look at the spotter arms and see how they attach to the rack. Okay, so let's get the spotter arms opened up. Oh, those are nice. Got the PRx branding on it right here. Very cool. And the other side. All right. So the spotter arm looks pretty cool. The PRx logo there, you can see that. That looks pretty sharp. There you go. Now you can see it much better. And then it just attaches to the rack like a J hook. We're going to put it in here. Slide right in. Now you got plenty of support to keep you from killing yourself if you drop the weight. Install the other side. They're super easy to adjust. So these spotter arms are going to be great because they're going to keep my dad from getting crushed, and that makes me happy to know, because the only other person here with him usually is my mom, and I doubt she's going to be picking up a ton of weight if he puts too much on the bar. Plus they kind of look cool. What's cool about PRx is they create a lot of their own storage pieces, so you can hang it on the wall and store it away when you're not using it, because you don't need it here all the time. And if you fold it up, you don't want to have the big spotter arm sticking out, so it's nice to store it away and keep it flat and organized on the wall. So we're going to install those so that they're stored away nice and neat. So the spotter arm storage comes in two boxes. There is the actual hardware and then a backing for it to keep it from banging up your wall. So the hardware, pretty simple hardware. Just got a frame so you can put in the J-hooks, I'm assuming. How you install those, take a look at that. There's two ways to install it. You can install it on a single stud in the middle, or if you have 16-inch studs, you can put one bolt on each side. This says it is a spotter arm storage backer. Well, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's cool. Can't see it very well here. So the spotter arm storage backer is gray to match the uprights, and actually looks pretty cool. So for the spotter arm storage, we're gonna have to be creative with where we put it because we don't have as much room in here as we'd like. And for the installation of the spotter arm, it has two options. You can do a single stud version, or you can do a double stud version if they're 16 on center. These are 16 on center, so I think that's what we'll do. And they send some drywall mollies for it, but we won't need those because this is in plywood or OSB. So this installation is pretty straightforward. You just screw it in and you're good to go. So I looked up how to store the spotter arms, and the backing apparently is just for aesthetics, and so I appreciate aesthetics. It's going to look good with the gray, so we're going to go ahead and install that as well. Now we just got to figure out where I'm going to put it. So I think for space saving purposes, we'll just install it right above the bench. So to install it, it's just a couple lag bolts and some washers. Don't forget your washers. Okay, that was pretty easy to install. They gave you 2 other screws once you get the lag bolts in, some drywall screws so you can get it into the drywall, but we don't need to use those. We'll just go right into the OSB. Again, they sent you washers. Don't forget those. Just a Phillips head drywall screw. Okay, all done with that. So let's store away the spotter arms. There's one. All right, so my initial review on the spotter arms is they are pretty legit, pretty sturdy. Definitely gonna be a good addition to the rack and the bench to keep you safe. And with this cool storage, it actually looks pretty neat and keeps it stored away. So when you put the whole thing, it's all still flat against the wall. Nice little organization system. We got the rack installed, the bench installed, and the spotter arms are ready to go. But what's missing? The barbell. So let's take a look at an Olympic Elite barbell from PRx. Okay, so when the barbell gets shipped, it gets shipped in a big long tube, just like this. And so on the end, you're gonna have to open it up and then you're gonna have to slide the barbell out. See if I can do it without hurting myself. Did it. Man, this is a nice barbell. I have a home gym and this is way nicer than one I got. Huh, very cool. The knurling on that is awesome. The cool PRx logo on the end. Put it on the rack. Dang. Really looks good. So I'm not a barbell aficionado. I know there's a ton of different barbells out there that you can use for different types of weightlifting. This bar is an Olympic Elite bar. Now my dad is not going to be doing any type of elite level lifting here. He's just trying to stay in shape and just trying to stay healthy. So this might be a bit of an overkill bar for him, but it will be a long lasting bar and I think it will hold up for a very long time to help him when it comes to lifting and having a good bar to do it. Since I'm not the aficionado, I looked it up on the PRx website and it says this bar is knurled, pressed, and coated to the finest settings and highest standards with a medium whip, light to medium knurl depth, and have both Olympic and powerlifting knurl marks. These multi-purpose bars are made to perform for a lifetime. It's available in bright or black zinc, so this is the bright option. And from what I read on the PRx website, this is a great multi-purpose bar. It has what you need for Olympic lifting, but also the strength to handle super heavy weightlifting. So whatever your needs are, this is a great bar to use for getting strong or getting fast with your Olympic lifts. And just for fun, because we got it, let's try some bench press. Got this cool fancy bench, pull it out, adjust the bar. How quickly we can adjust the J-hooks, super easy. See where we're at, the bar back up. It's gonna be way too low. Try it in here. Yeah, I like this, this is nice. Boom. Yep. So I know that's not that big a deal because there's no weight on the bar, so it's not really a true test of the bar, but I like it, it's comfortable, the gripping is not too rough, and the texture's not too hard, the knurling's not too hard, and then the knurling marks allows me to have proper finger placement and do what's comfortable for me, because a lot of bars will only have one mark on them. This has got double marks, so that's great. And just for giggles, let's put the spotter arms on and see what it looks like. Yeah, those spotter arms are nice. Always got to hit a bench. Boom. Very cool. So one of the cool things about this PRx system is that there's storage for pretty much everything. And so there's a barbell storage that we need to get installed that'll hold the barbell flat against the wall. So this storage rack from PRx is great because it'll be on a single stud and hold up to 2 bars. The problem is figuring out where we're going to put it. Okay, so because we don't have a lot of storage space on the wall, I gotta get creative and use a block to store it. Normally, if you had more space on the wall, you wouldn't have to do that, but because our wall space is very limited right now and the studs for the bar are not gonna have much room, I wanna use a block to fasten the bar storage to the wall. Okay, so the rack needs to be at least that black line. Okay, getting real creative here. The rack comes with lag bolts and your washers. Okay, let's see if this works. Whoops. Boom. Almost like I meant to do it. Worked out great. Won't be able to put another bar in here though, so I'll have to shift it over a little bit if we ever get a second bar. But for now, that works great. So my initial review on the Olympic Elite bar from PRx is it's a solid bar. I like it. It's a good multi-purpose bar, and I think this will meet the needs that you're looking for. So having a barbell is great, but you can only do so much with it until you get some weight on it. So let's talk about the PRx bumper plates now. So I got a whole stack of weights here. Let's open them up and take a look at them. First, 10s. Two 10-pound plates, basic bumper plates, 10 pounds each. I like the all black. The all black is nice. Got the PRx branding on it. Looks good. Next, two 15-pound plates, all black again. PRx branding, looks nice. I know it's just weights, but looks nice. Next, ooh, these are a step up. Nice. Look at that. Green 25-pounders, Olympic plates, very nice. The metal cores, sweet. Those are nice looking plates right there. Again, I know they're just weights, but these are nice looking. Wow, very cool. All right, now the big dogs, 45s. Oh, wow. That is sharp. That is a sharp looking plate, that PRx Performance. Wow. Very nice. And I'm sure this is the last 45-pounder. Boom. Wow, very cool. Very, very nice plates. Let's get them on a bar, see how they do. Go easy to start, just do some 10s. Slide on nice. Hit a bench. Yep, definitely gonna want some collars with these. Now let's put the big dogs on there. See how they do. There we go. Much tighter tolerance on those. Didn't slide at all. Very good. Well, they're bumper plates, so let's drop them. Boom. Not much bounce on those. Let me adjust the camera so you can see. Not much. Those are gonna be nice. So my initial impression on these plates is these are awesome. These Olympic plates are very solidly built, very tight tolerances, look great, nice thinness. You can tell that they are an elite plate. The basic plates, awesome, good, cost-effective plates for you to purchase. They're all weight at the end of the day, so if you're just trying to lift, you probably don't need these super high tolerance or super low tolerance Olympic plates, but they're awesome and solid, and they look great. And one of the things that I love about PRx is their attention to the aesthetics. Now, aesthetics aren't gonna make you lift heavier or be faster or anything like that, but kind of want to come to a place and have it look nice when you work out. And so PRx really goes above and beyond with the branding and keeping their stuff looking nice. And I like that, and I appreciate that on the weight plates. So having these weights is cool, but we need a place to store them, and that's where the weight management system from PRx comes in. So let's dive into this and get it installed. Oh, this is the wing portion of it. Oh man, here we go. Nice. That's gonna go right on the wall, just like that. This looks like this installation ought to be pretty simple. Just some lag bolts, get rid of the box. Okay, instructions. Find a stud and install the weight plates. Pretty easy. Using the stud finder, find the stud. This is a single stud, and we're just gonna add them in there using the weight plates, or using the lag screws, I mean. Okay, so we're limited on space, so I've got one stud left that I can use to store these plates. Problem is these shelves are gonna be in the way, so I'm gonna have to be real careful about how I do this to get the plates up there. Looks like that ought to be all right. Okay, so I got real creative with this, and we're gonna make it work right there. The wings, we got the wings, but we don't have the smaller plates, so we're just gonna kind of use it as a spacer for right now. And what's really cool about this system from PRx is it's like a puzzle piece. So it just fits right in there on top there. The same thing with the wings too. It's just a puzzle piece, fits right in. Pretty cool. Oh, that looks awesome. All right, so now I got the plate management tree in place. All I need to do now is load it with some weights. I don't know about you, but that looks pretty freaking sweet. That's one of the things that I love about PRx is they've really taken the time to pay attention to detail for making this space efficient in your home gym, giving you plenty of storage options, plenty of things to keep it clean and look nice. So I would highly recommend adding this to your home gym to keep your plates stored and keep your plates clean. Okay, so quick jump in the timeline here. It's a week later. One of the items didn't arrive with the original shipment. It wasn't a PRx thing. It was a FedEx issue. I think it got lost in the shipping process. It was all shipped at the same time. Just didn't get off the truck that day. So now I'm back at my folks to talk about the PRx curl bar. Okay, so I got the PRx curl bar here. We're gonna open it up and take a look at it. Fun thing, when it actually arrived, the packaging was a little damaged. So this was really easy to rip off the top. So I went ahead and ripped it off. Gonna take a look at the bar, pull it out of here. Oh man. Throw that to the side, take the plastic off. Nice little curl bar. Got the curves in it. The knurling feels pretty good. Got the PRx branding on the side. Oh, looks sharp. I like it. Very cool. Do some curls, pump out some curls real quick. I like it. Good for a close grip, whatever you want to do. Very nice. I like that bar a lot. Very cool. Will it fit in here? Oh, look at that. Fits right in there. Really is a nice bar. The branding on the end looks really sweet. Do some curls with the big bumper plates, make it look like I'm doing a lot of weight. Feels good. I like it. Very nice. Some overheads. Couldn't see that on camera. Very nice. It's a basic curl bar. Okay, so one of the things that I like the most about the whole PRx lineup is the organization that they have for all of their equipment. The bar rack right here is fantastic for 2 bars. You got a straight bar, a curl bar, fits right on there. You can hang your bars, keep them out of the way. Plus they look good. It really is one of my favorite things about the PRx home gym equipment. So my initial impression of the curl bar is it's a solid bar, made well, feels good in your hand, be a great addition to any home gym. All right, so I pretty much got everything that you need for a foundation of a home gym. Couple accessory pieces that I want to talk about real quick that I've added to the home gym for my folks. That's a kettlebell and some mobility bands and a balance pad. We're gonna go through those and I'll give you my first impressions. So it's always good to have a kettlebell in your gym so that you can do some accessory movements. Fun fact, my dad had never used a kettlebell before, so that's why I wanted to get some from PRx. And so we have a 10 kilogram kettlebell, 22 pounds, and we have a 16 kilogram kettlebell, 35.2 pounds. These will be nice for my dad, not too heavy, not too light, so that he can work on some different movements and learn to use a kettlebell. One of the things I like about these kettlebells is their solid construction. Obviously, they're full cast iron, it looks like, and the handles are good, nice thick handles for my big hands. You can grab onto them really well, but you don't feel too tight sticking your hands in there. And overall, these will be a great addition to the home gym. And back to one of the things that I like the most about PRx is they really go above and beyond when it comes to storage. So this is a kettlebell storage rack. And so you can fasten this onto the wall and then the kettlebells hang from it and you can store 2 kettlebells. So let's get this installed and see how it holds up. The big problem here is that I am completely running out of space that it's going to work to put this. So I'm gonna have to put it all the way over here to make it so that it doesn't bump into the bumper plates and there's room to actually store this and hang the kettlebells from it. The installation is just like all the rest of the equipment from PRx. It's just a couple of lag screws into a single stud. All right, now let's hang some kettlebells from it. Dang, that's cool. All right, now I would say that this is a great addition to a home gym. I know kettlebells always end up on the floor. They're always in the way, and what I love about this system is it gets it up off the floor, hangs it nice and neat, easy to grab, easy to store. Kind of a no-brainer when it comes to storing your PRx stuff. The next thing I want to talk about are some mobility bands. Mobility is definitely an important thing. My parents are 70 years old, so having some extra mobility is always going to be beneficial for everybody, not just my parents, but for everybody. So I wanted to get a full set of mobility resistance bands so they can work on their mobility all the time. We got a full set of bands. These are just like any other band that you've seen. They've got the PRx branding on them. Gonna be really nice. Nice purple band. The heaviest band that they sent is the green band. I don't know the weight ratios on this. I'll have to look it up and put it on the screen for you. Red band, black band. In order of thickness, it goes green, purple, black, red, yellow. This yellow one is really thin, wow. And then of course, true to PRx form, they sent a storage rack for the mobility bands. So a nice little hook on each one of them so that you can hook and store your mobility bands, because if you've ever had mobility bands, you know they're a mess all the time. So having a storage rack will be great. Okay, so the nice thing about mobility bands is they don't weigh a lot, so you don't need heavy duty anchors for the mobility band rack. So I'm gonna hang it right here, just in the middle onto the OSB, and hopefully they don't hit the ground when they hang. Just a couple of drywall screws to attach it. Okay, so hang the big one in the back, purple one, black one, red one, and the yellow one. And it doesn't touch the floor. Perfect. These are perfect. The length is perfect. So this set of resistance band from PRx is a nice set, nice way to store it. I like this. It keeps it clean. Again, back to the aesthetics of PRx and how they pay attention to detail, keep everything off the floor. If we had more wall space, I'd put it somewhere else, but these shelves kind of get in the way for maximizing, well, actually we've maximized the wall space, but these shelves get in the way from us using more space. So this is gonna work great. This will be easy to grab. Nice addition to the home gym because mobility is super important. Okay, the next thing that I want to go over is a balance pad from PRx. This is a balance pad to help you with stabilization for balance. My mom, years ago, had to have surgery and lost hearing in one of her ears, so her balance is all kinds of wonky and crazy. And so I wanted to get this balance pad for her to help her work on her balance. And so this is just a foam pad that's gonna destabilize you. You stand on it and it helps with working on stabilization. I'm gonna give my mom some drills to do to test this out to make sure that it's gonna work. But basically what you do is you stand on it and then it makes your foot wobbly. And so you can lift when you're using it. There's different things that you can do to train it, to work on your balance, to work on your stabilization. And so I'm excited to put this into use for my mom and see if it helps with her balance. And then the final thing I want to talk about from PRx is a general storage option that they sent that is good for just gym storage. Gym storage is important. You know, you've got random things that end up all over the place. You don't know what goes where. So this is just a random storage rack to hang jump ropes, to hang all kinds of different things. So having extra storage is never a bad thing. This can be a multi-purpose. I'm gonna use this and put it on the wall, and then the balance pad can sit right on it, and we can store the balance pad, keep it up, keep it nice and neat. So it's a good addition and something that can help from a stability standpoint. So let's get this installed. Really getting creative with the space usage right now. We're gonna go right up here with the rack to make sure that it holds the balance pad. All right, pad going up. I mean, nice storage space for that. Okay, so we're done. We've set up the entire home gym for my folks. It took me a little while because of doing the cameras and all that kind of stuff, but all told, I feel like this could have been completely done in a couple of hours, but because of a couple of mistakes, a couple camera mistakes, it took a little bit longer, but definitely didn't take me more than half a day. My initial impression of all this equipment is everything just looks so good. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. I'm very grateful to PRx for all the equipment. Super excited for my dad to start getting to test this and for me to get to test this as well. So in the future, I'll be adding more videos to my channel with a 1-month update, a 6-month update, and a 1-year update on all of this equipment to see how it holds up over time. If you want to stay tuned for that, then you got to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to check some of this equipment out for yourself, I'll leave my affiliate link down in the description so that you can do that. And stay tuned to the channel for more gym equipment reviews and tips on how you can perform better, recover faster, and live healthier. I'll see you in the next video.